Ever wondered what happens when a Hollywood interviewer, notorious for their scandalous questions, meets a martial arts legend who's more skilled at deflecting verbal jabs than flying kicks? Buckle up, because this is a story you won't forget. It was a Tuesday night, millions glued to their screens for another episode of Primetime Talk, America's most watched talk show. The studio, a dazzling spectacle of lights and camera rigs, hummed with the pre-show energy. Hosts Jessica and Mark, masters of the on-screen charm, were ready for their next interview. Tonight's guest? None other than Tony Jaa, the global icon famed for his breathtaking martial arts performances, his unforgettable filmography, and his magnetic presence. But tonight, Tony wasn't just a star. He was about to face an unexpected battle. A battle not of fists and feet, but of words. A hostile interviewer, Jessica, armed with a hidden agenda to undermine and humiliate him. But Tony Jaa wasn't one to back down. As the cameras began to roll, Jessica flashed a smile, the practiced kind that's designed to appear warm and welcoming, yet concealed a darker intent. She leaned into her microphone, eyes gleaming with calculated intensity. "Tony, welcome to the show. It's an honor to have you. Now, let's dive right into something a bit more personal, shall we?" Jessica began, her voice laced with a syrupy sweetness that barely masked the underlying venom. "Your family, your son in particular. There's been quite a bit of chatter about his rebellious phase. How do you, as a father and a role model, feel about his recent troubles with the law?" The air in the studio instantly thickened. The audience collectively held its breath. Tony Jaa, the man known for his lightning-fast reflexes, now faced a verbal strike aimed directly at his heart. Could he deflect it? Would he lose his composure? This was more than just an interview. It was a test of character under the harshest of spotlights. The set crew scurried, hoping that Jaa would give the soundbite the production needed to make the show go viral. Tony didn't flinch. He leaned back in his chair, his expression calm yet resolute. He understood Jessica's game: bait him, provoke him, and use his family as a pawn for ratings. But Tony Jaa had seen through far more complex schemes on the movie set. Now it was time to act. "I believe in second chances," Tony said, his voice steady and calm, cutting through the mounting tension. "My son has made mistakes, yes, but he is learning from them. He's a young man trying to find his way, and as his father, my role is to guide him, not condemn him." There it was, the first punch of the interview, expertly deflected. Tony's words of parental support instantly had many parents in the audience thinking of their struggles raising children. Tony stood in solidarity. Jessica, however, wasn't ready to concede. She leaned in further, sensing a potential opening. "But wasn't there a time when you publicly denounced his behavior? I recall a statement where you expressed disappointment, to put it mildly." "I've never pretended to be a perfect parent," Tony countered, his voice firm, imbued with the weight of truth. "Of course I was disappointed. Any father would be. But disappointment doesn't equal rejection. I expressed my concerns because I care, because I want him to be a better person, and I believe he will be." Jessica, momentarily thrown off balance, recovered quickly, her practiced smile intact. She wouldn't back down, not yet. Interesting," she said, her voice dripping with false sympathy. "So, if you're so supportive, why haven't we seen him publicly apologize? Why hasn't he taken accountability for his actions? Is it because you're shielding him from the consequences?" The words hung in the air like a toxic smog. Tony Jaa was now in a position he never wanted to be in, forced to defend not only himself, but also his parenting choices, against accusations that were not only insensitive, but inherently unfair. Jessica was playing a dangerous game, hoping to get a rise out of him, but she would soon discover she was dealing with a master of both physical and mental agility. Tony leaned forward, his eyes locking onto Jessica's with a piercing intensity. "My son's journey is his own," he said, his voice even, measured. "An apology must come from the heart. It can't be forced, it can't be staged. He will apologize when he is ready, and I trust that he will do the right thing." Tony continued, "Furthermore, you should never shield your kids from their consequences. It's a pivotal part of their learning experience." The studio fell silent. Jessica's expression began to crack ever so slightly. The host was not used to being on the back foot. The audience, initially eager for the drama, now appeared uncomfortable as they felt that the privacy of Tony's family was being violated. Jessica, determined to regain control, shifted her focus. "Well, let's move on to something else then," she said, her voice regaining its edge. "There have been rumors about your upcoming movie. Some critics are saying it's derivative, that it lacks the originality of your earlier work. How do you respond to that? Now it was Tony's turn to smile, a genuine, self-assured smile. "Critics are entitled to their opinions," he said. "But I don't make movies for critics. I make them for the audience. I make them to entertain, and I believe this film will do just that." He continued, "Besides, I am always looking for the next project to one-up myself. So even if it is derivative, you can be assured the next one will be one of the most creative and awe-inspiring movies to date." Jessica pressed on, relentless. "But surely you must be concerned about the film's potential box office performance. Your last few films haven't exactly been blockbusters, have they?" Tony shrugged, unfazed. "Success isn't always measured in dollars and cents," he said. "For me, it's about the journey, the process. It's about pushing myself creatively. It's about connecting with people. And if I can do that, then I consider myself successful." It was becoming increasingly clear that Jessica's attempts to undermine Tony were backfiring spectacularly. Tony wasn't taking the bait. He wasn't losing his temper. He wasn't succumbing to the pressure. Instead, he was deflecting her attacks with grace, wisdom, and an unwavering sense of self. But Jessica was determined to land at least one solid blow. "Let's talk about your personal life," she said, her voice taking on a gossipy tone. "There have been rumors about your relationships, about your past. Is there anything you'd like to address?" Tony paused, his expression turning serious. "My personal life is my personal life," he said, his voice firm but respectful. "It's not something I feel the need to discuss on television. I'm here to talk about my work, my passion, and I'd appreciate it if we could stick to that." There was a moment of stunned silence before Jessica, visibly frustrated, threw one last desperate punch. "So, you're saying you have nothing to hide?" she asked, her tone laced with skepticism. Tony looked directly into the camera, his eyes conveying a message of sincerity and conviction. "I'm saying that I'm human," he said. "I've made mistakes, I've learned from them, and I'm doing my best to be a good person. That's all anyone can ask." The interview continued, but the momentum had completely shifted. Jessica's attempts to discredit Tony had failed miserably. He had remained calm, composed, and authentic throughout the entire ordeal. He had defended his family, his work, and his personal values with unwavering conviction. As the show drew to a close, Jessica, visibly deflated, thanked Tony for his time. The audience, initially anticipating a scandalous exposé, erupted into applause, recognizing that they had witnessed something far more profound, a masterclass in handling adversity with grace, dignity, and strength. As Tony walked off the set, the crew and producers were awestruck. They had seen countless celebrities come and go, but few had handled such an intense and personal barrage with the composure that Tony had displayed. Backstage, the buzz was palpable. Everyone was talking about how Tony had not only survived the interview, but had also somehow managed to turn it into a testament to his character. Even Jessica, known for her sharp tongue and relentless pursuit of controversy, couldn't deny that she had underestimated Tony Jaa. She'd come into the interview with a singular goal: to expose his vulnerabilities and paint him as just another celebrity caught up in scandal. Instead, she had found herself on the receiving end of a lesson in self-respect, integrity, and the art of staying true to oneself under pressure. In the days that followed, the story of Tony's composed and insightful responses became a viral sensation. It wasn't just a news story, it was a cultural moment. Tony had not only defended his family and his personal beliefs, but he had also demonstrated a level of emotional intelligence and inner strength that few could hope to emulate. People from all walks of life were inspired by his ability to stay grounded, his unwavering commitment to his family, and his skillful way of navigating adversity. What resonated deeply with the audience, particularly those in the 55-plus demographic, was Tony's ability to remain authentic throughout the interview. His unwavering commitment to his family struck a chord, reminding viewers of the core values they cherished most. They recognized in Tony's stoicism and grace the qualities they had cultivated over years of facing their own life challenges. For many, Tony's interview was a reminder that true strength lies not in aggression or defensiveness, but in the quiet confidence of living by one's principles. But the ultimate takeaway from this whole situation was the message that Tony left behind. You don't have to fight fire with fire. Sometimes the most powerful way to win is by simply holding your head high and sticking to your principles. This is a lesson that resonates not only with Tony's fans, but with anyone who's ever been unfairly criticized or misunderstood. It's a reminder that we don't need to prove ourselves to those who don't truly know us, and that we don't need to answer every attack or accusation. Instead, we can rise above it and show the world who we are through our actions, our character, and our unwavering integrity. Pause for a moment and reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever faced unfair judgment or criticism? Perhaps you've been in situations where you felt small or inadequate. We all have those moments. But Tony's response to Jessica offers a powerful lesson. Don't let those moments define you. Don't allow someone else's opinion to shape your identity. Consider this. What is your typical response when life throws its hardest punches at you? Do you react defensively? Do you let negativity consume you? Or do you emulate Tony and rise above the fray? This type of resilience is what makes Tony Jaa a true hero, both on and off the screen. It's a strength rooted in self-awareness and unwavering commitment to personal values. Now let's get personal. If you've resonated with Tony's story and his approach to handling adversity, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from, and have you faced similar challenges in defending your values or your family? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your stories can inspire others to find their own inner strength. If you believe that Tony's interview offers valuable lessons in navigating life's challenges, don't hesitate to share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Spread the word and remind the world that we all possess the capacity to stand firm, regardless of life's obstacles. The interview may have ended, but its impact reverberated far beyond the studio's walls. People from diverse backgrounds were discussing it, each finding personal relevance in Tony's words. Those in the older generation found solace in Tony's composure, his devotion to his family, and his refusal to be defined by others' expectations. They understood that Tony's words were more than just entertainment. They were a reflection of deeply held values that they could relate to in their own lives. In an era often characterized by quick judgments, rampant criticism, and a culture of tearing others down, Tony offered a glimpse of a better way forward, a way where respect, dignity, and understanding prevail. A way where family bonds outweigh fleeting fame, where love conquers all the noise, and where no one has the power to diminish your inherent worth. Tony Jaa transformed an interview designed to humiliate him into an opportunity to impart profound life lessons. He demonstrated that no matter how often you're knocked down, you have the capacity to rise with grace and strength. As the video concludes, let Tony's message resonate. Inner strength resides within you. Don't allow others to dictate your identity. Stay true to your beliefs, and let your actions speak volumes. If you found value in this message, be sure to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with anyone who needs a reminder of their inherent inner strength. You never know who might be watching and in need of inspiration. Leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and let's continue this conversation. And if you've taken away something meaningful today, pass it on. Perhaps there's someone in your life who needs to know that they are far stronger than they realize. Don't let this message stop with you. Share it, spread it, and remind the world that strength is an inside job. Stay healthy, stay strong, and always remember, you have the power to shape your narrative.